Few things are as controversial in games as the meta. Few things divide a community more than a meta. Few things are as polarizing as a shift in how a game is fundamentally played. And what better example than War Thunder and Fox 3 missiles? I'm not making this video to say that my way of playing is better than anyone else's, or that my opinion is any better or more important than anyone else's, but hopefully I can try to convince you to see my point as a player who's been playing both heavily before and after Fox 3 missiles have been added. Remember top tier gameplay before Fox 3s and even before IRCCM was a thing. On missiles, I am going to make a few points on why I believe Fox 3s have changed War Thunder for the worse in ways that can be fixed. My first point of contention with Fox 3 missiles has to be the maps. Fox 3s on their own wouldn't be an issue if it weren't for War Thunder map design. Frequently, War Thunder maps are too small for a lot of these missiles, and I don't think this will ever change. We saw this first not in the AMRAAM or the R-77, but in the humble AIM-54. This missile, added in the Danger Zone update, was the first time ever that a community had seen a missile with a range and speed to render maps of War Thunder trivial. Now yes, the AIM-54 I don't think quite stacks up to what we have now in top tier, but I think it is a good example because it drastically outranges most modern Fox 3s that we have in game. For example, the M120C5 has a range of 394,000 feet. The R-77-1 has the same range of 394,000 feet. Keep in mind this is their launch range and not necessarily their effective range, but it still gives a good line of comparison. And still both these pale at the range of the AIM-54C, which sports a range of 492,000 feet. So why is this an issue? Well, there are three main reasons. Number one, to the point where these missiles outrange the maps they're put in. Number two is these missiles will only get more maneuverable and numerous in time. Number three, the radars that guide them will not only get better, but also get more accessible. This will make missiles like this harder to evade. And all this ties back to maps because I doubt it will ever get larger type RB maps to make missiles like this have their place in the game. Point 2. Planes don't matter anymore. I came to this conclusion while playing the new F-15C Golden Eagle. It makes me realize that the same F-15 that would be the same as the F-15E, if not worse, has made me not want to grind new planes, because they will ultimately all be used for the same thing, and that's to launch missiles. I don't think Gaijin realize this because they're trying to push out the new F-16C POBIT, which inspired me to make all this, because I don't think anyone is excited about it. After all, I love the F-16s, my home state has an F-16 wing, and I've seen them fly over several times, but I don't think, when it comes to War Thunder, I don't think anything will add any kind of substance to the game or make it fun to unlock new planes. The F-16 is dead on arrival. It carries less missiles, less countermeasures, and is slower than the F-15s it goes up against, and I just don't think it's going to be fun. That's where I think the core issue of Fox 3s is that they don't make new additions to the game fun or interesting because every plane carries the same missiles, and if you're not carrying the most, then you aren't going to do as good as someone who is. The F-16C POBIT will be dead on arrival because it doesn't add anything other than the new radar, but it's still all around just a worse plane and a heavier F-16C Block 50. Point 3. It eliminates player skill. War Thunder used to be more about individual skill, and at lower BRs it very much still is. And at top tier BRs around it, skills become less and less needed. If the enemy plane has less missiles than you, or worse missiles than you, then you can just shoot down all of their missiles and then shoot them down once they're out. The thing that made RB fun and interesting, believe it or not, was the dogfights, or the 1v1s that had substance where the best player won, but that just isn't the case anymore, and it has become less and less about individual skill and more about how many missiles you can throw at the aircraft. This hurts the gameplay because War Thunder used to have real skill ceiling, and had been lowered skill floor has been severely raised due to oppressive missiles that can reach across the entire map and hit targets. It doesn't just encourage fun or unique gameplay, and most matches feel like a slog of listening to the RWR scream and trying to evade Fox 3s and trying to counter-launch, and I just do not believe it is fun. Possible fixes. Well, I think this is just making it so you have Fox 3s in your loadout. You can be put into a separate matchmaker where you can play with other people and still want to use them. Then if you don't want to use them, you can go into a match without them and just use closer range missiles and possibly have more fun if you don't want to listen to your RWR scream at you all game. I know Gaijin will never remove Fox 3s and that they'll be part of the game forever, and I severely doubt Gaijin would ever do anything that harms Q times, but it's the best idea I've got. Conclusion. I believe War Thunder will only lean further in this direction, and Fox 3 combat will slowly erode away player skill and want to play the game, grind out new plans. I'm sure in the future there will only be cool new plans, but they won't be able to be fun or interesting to grind because it'll be the same drag of playing, get a plan with the same gameplay loop of what you use to get it, and that is just not indicative of fun or interesting game. Until next time.